Can you guys hear me? Oh, Sally, hold on. What are you doing? Okay, that's better. That needs to go up just a little higher. If you watched any of my recent streams, I kept hitting my head on this. New camera position there. Light. Hi. So now I have to keep tabs. So I've got a camera here. I have one over there. And I have one there. One of these times I'm going to just like max it out and put like 10 cameras just covering every single angle and see what happens. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. I guess before I get started, as I mentioned in the description, it wasn't unexpected, but it's the second time in a relatively short span that I lost someone. And here's the weird thing. I'm like at present, I'm almost completely done. I would have been done before now. I was creating a memorial for the sister of the person who just died. And that's probably one of a half dozen memorials that are currently open projects that I really need to buckle down. Oh, that'll be a good thing for me to do. In Vietnam, for the first week, I won't have my piano. But after that, it's all good. But that week, in addition to overcoming the 12 hours of jet lag, I'm really going to hit some of those projects hard. It's a good thing. And especially if you travel, I mean, yeah, to Europe somewhat, but like this, my very first time I remember being in Japan, this was 25 years ago, but I thought I knew jet lag until I went there, and I'm like, I don't know where I am. What's going on? Why do I feel this way? And so that can actually present a good opportunity, though. 3 a.m, editing. Yeah, it'll be an interesting arrival this time. I've never had to declare anything when entering Vietnam, but this time I have to declare several things. Okay, so you also saw in the description, I agreed to play a Sunday Mass for the first time ever as I'm exiting the country. And as I've mentioned before, maybe that's a good time for me to leave the country. We'll see. Everybody will forget by the time I get back. But I don't know when I'm coming back. Okay. This one, I was thinking about this earlier. It's been so busy today. Anyway, I was thinking about this opening piece, and it's really, I think it has to have a more definitive da-da, like a lilt to it. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but just so you get the idea of what I'm going for here. Something that I thought was interesting. Yes, I could play note for note on these things, but they're not really made to be played that way. I didn't realize that there was so much improvisation involved in these, which is good for me, for sure. Okay, so I'm just going to play through it. I've never played with the singer either. One of them. And I have to go not so fast. Thinking about if I wanted to like do something. I'm just gonna get through it, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm just gonna focus on playing it as vanilla and accurately as I can tomorrow. As I say that. But I won't have 3 cameras and a microphone and a mixer and all that other stuff. I'll get better at it. The little hesitation there was because last night when I was practicing this, I went back and forth between 2 different roots in the left hand. And I settled on one, and then I forgot that I'd settled on that one. But that's why we're doing this now. And then after I end this stream, I don't have to make dinner tonight, thankfully. So after that, I'm going to it'll be boot camp, final prep, practicing. But I'm feeling pretty good. Okay. This one here, I'm going to try not to talk. I'm going to actually try to get through it, even if I mess up, just so that I have a clear, every time I do it, I'm actually now, I was kind of singing along because there are all these different verses and they all kind of sound similar. And this Gloria that I'm about to play, it really moves. So you have to be on your toes. Anyway, here we go. I'm just going to keep going, even if I mess up. And yeah. And we're not going to overdo it. We're not going to improvise too much. I can't always help it. It's sometimes beyond my control. But here we go. And I have to remember to play the refrain through once, then come back and play the whole refrain over. But that takes 7 seconds. So, but it's just remembering the structure of the piece. Which way should I look? This way? Should I look this way? Does it matter? forgot that part. I couldn't help it. I got through it. Okay. I'm actually looking forward to this next one. This song. Not that I don't look forward to the other stuff, but some of it's a little scary. This can be scary if I play the wrong notes because it'll be super noticeable. That last one, you know, there'll be a couple wrong notes either way, but it mostly just blends in. This, not so much. I want to do a solid note there. I decided that. I don't want to... See, I'm just babbling, but this is... So, I was originally playing this, and I decided that I wanted to start on this. So, just... Isn't that pretty? I didn't turn the page. I have to... What am I playing there? That's too much. I'll just do a 7. Okay. And I was not playing that as if I was playing it tomorrow. Hopefully that's understood. I won't need to provide all the disclaimers. Oh, funny thing happened. So I'm not the best at social media, in case you didn't know. I never keep up with things. I'm always getting yelled at for not engaging in the right ways or whatever, and I don't really care. But as such, I often lose track of everything. And I was just saying something like, oh, that's right. It was on X. And there was a tweet from Elon Musk, and I was just like, I was all riled up about something, and I was like, man, let me tell you about what happened to me at US Bank. And like all of a sudden it got up. I'm like, I didn't even think about it. I didn't give it another thought. And then I was like looking at my notifications. I'm like, wow, like all these people like retweeted it. And I'm like, huh, maybe that's an omen sign for me, omen for somebody else. But I really wasn't expecting that. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should pay more attention to X. I like you can kind of say whatever you want as, within reason, as long as it's, well, I'm just going to say it will be factual, but not that everything on X is factual. It's not. Okay, here we go. I saw Dr. Aaron playing this today. Now I mid-measure, I was like, wait, I want to do that thing he did. I think that's what he did. I could only see his left hand. I couldn't watch the whole thing. I was behind him. Put on the spot last week, and he's like, hey, you want to practice? I'm like, oh, you mean like in front of all these people? And I was like, sure, I'll sight read this. But I'd actually played it once before in the past, so I mentioned that because this is slower again, and I think I need to make sure I'm taking my time. I've heard it way faster. was going to say I want to do that again, but then the next one is so similar that I'll just do that instead. I'm not looking. I did that to me now. I was thinking about something. Okay. On Monday, I was originally going to fly to, Doha. Or was it Dubai? I don't know. But anyway, I decided to go through Tokyo instead. Which is one of my normal connecting points. Usually Tokyo, Hong Kong, Doha, Dubai, Taipei. This is another one that I recall, and actually the time signature or the tempo says that it's faster, but I heard it much slower the other day. So I'm going to do that. It has an extra thing. Another one I have to put an extra. I'm not looking at the music either, so that I get extra points. I'm not even on the right page. Okay. From memory, I'm definitely feeling better now. Okay. Panis Angelicus. What I like about this and some of the other ones, for me, there's one part that's more stressful than anything else, and it's like having to eyeball what's going on while you're playing something you don't really know all that well, and then determining that the priest is going to like be ready to do something, and then you have to like, you might be mid-song, you have to like come up with something, like end it here. and don't just stop, So anyway, what's nice about these is that you cannot do that with this. These are old, ancient, Middle Age. So once you start it, you're kind of in for the long haul. Beautiful. Okay. Hallelujah is our song. And then I'm going to probably get a move on. So anyway, that going back to the whole X thing, I have a whole idea. I know I haven't really talked about it much since the whole tryout thing, but I've had other more pressing matters than some silly chancery court exercise that I never really wanted to be a part of. I just wasn't going to let it go. So anyway, but I have some pretty, what I think will be perceived as amusing videos that also help to hopefully illustrate a picture of some things. One in particular, there's a very funny story. As you guys know, I make a lot of desserts and confectionery stuff and ice cream and all that. And that's actually relatively new. I didn't know how to cook at all for most of my life. And then this was Pi Day. I was just kind of learning. And so I had a thing where it worked out well because I needed to learn how to make fancy desserts. And, I was making stuff for all the kids here. So working in an office, it was great. Every week I would just be like, all right, here's this new experiment. Usually it went over pretty well. Sometimes, but that's part of learning. Anyway, so like when this whole weird thing happened that, and I say weird because sometimes like I think I'm mentally exhausted even trying to like tell people what happened because it really is hard to believe, but anyway, so this was when all of this was happening and I, as I normally had done, I made a dessert and then I was set up. I was laughing because I found out about it a week before it happened, and I notified the company, that was going to happen, but it didn't prevent it from happening. But I was set up, and somebody called in an anonymous threat and said I was going to commit an act of violence, which is hopefully, the little bit that you guys have seen me on social media might give you an indication, but it's antithetical truly to my nature. And anyway, but what are you going to do? So at that point, I was still convinced though that there was no way that, something like that could actually be allowed to stand. So I wasn't really overly concerned, but I was still an active employee, just not there. So anyway, I had to go get my computer and everything, and I arranged all that ahead of time. And I was like, oh, just so you know, I already had this made, but I'm dropping off the latest batch of desserts and all this and that. And so I did that, and like it was the craziest thing. So I didn't even think anything of it. We had dropped it off, and I got the things I needed, and I was like just about to leave, and there's like, I see this like, I'm sorry, I don't mean this offensively, but it's just the way it is. But there's like a very, very, very severely obese security guard, this woman, and she like comes running, and I'm actually pulling out of the parking lot, and she's on her phone, and like I'm like, what in the world is going on? And well, I was getting all these like real time. It was so dumb. It was so dumb because I have like 10 people that are texting me every single thing in real time that's happening. And then the reason I say this though is, oh wait, do I have to worry about what I say for like YouTube and all that? I don't care. Anyway, somebody had said that in a French silk pie, now you guys are familiar, French silk pie, that they suspected that I had planted an explosive device in a French silk pie. This is why I said I'm kind of like excited to start sharing these. I have a whole video series, and the French silk pie incident is perhaps the funniest one, because their solution to, they didn't call bomb squad or sheriffs or anything like that. Their solution was to throw it into a plastic waste bin under a desk somewhere. So the crisis was averted. But the reason that I mentioned that is because, I guess I tried to think objectively, and I could see, even though it wouldn't be true, I could see somebody saying like somebody might tamper with food, or like, if there was a disgruntled employee, like if somebody got fired, this was just an HR dispute at the time, but I could see there being a risk of somebody doing something like that. But this was like, it was like a normal routine thing. And anyway, but then out of all the things, like to say that somebody put a bomb in a pie. And so the reason I'm even mentioning this now is because I've been kind of quiet on all of this, but the everything that you saw with the Chancery Court, that was not I just need to clarify, and I don't know why I'm doing this now, but it doesn't matter. I'll do it again. I'm sure I'll be doing this quite a bit. So it was not at no point have I ever said, claimed wrongful termination. And I actually am, sadly, very well versed in at-will employment law, and those are things that I acknowledge, but it was the defamation was always the thing. And that's what I had been told by the company that was going to be investigated, and that they were going to follow up with me with the resolution, and then they ghosted me. So I thought, well, what kind of things what tools do I have at my disposal to find out what the heck is going on there? I thought, well, I've got this stock that I bought, and I think that comes with some privileges. And so that's all it was. I just asked to see some specific documentation related to law enforcement records from that whole incident, because one would assume if you have somebody who's both threatened to commit a violent act and has allegedly placed an explosive device within a pie, a French silk pie, one would logically think that law enforcement would be involved. So that was like one of, say, 10, put it this way, right? Either law enforcement would be involved. They weren't, because I actually wrote a letter of recommendation for one of the new sheriffs who had been hired there, Pakistani immigrant, very nice guy, Muhammad. And anyway, so I know that there's no record of that. And so if there is no record of that, well, that really leaves me with some more questions. Anyway, so that's just like one of the funny things. I'm going to be talking about that. And I actually have video and photos from, well, not only from that day, but from all sorts of stuff. I talked about Big Sally, or Big Shirley. Sorry, that's Sally. Big Shirley's upstairs. Big Shirley is 24 terabytes. That's capacity. 22 terabytes is what's on there now. That's a lot. And it's all packed up and heading to Saigon, where it will have the final edits done. And then everything is going to go all at once while I'm safely 9,000 miles away in the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Come find me in the Mekong. And I think it'll help to elucidate a lot of what this has been up until now. All right. What was I going to work on here? And that's just the start. I've got so much more, but it's unavoidable. And it wasn't my hope to do it this way because, frankly, I have better things to worry about. But I think you guys will see just how much everything kind of centered around my previous job with my wife and with, cancer and the baby and everything else. It was just, it's like, yeah, there's no way around it, so it was avoidable in that, all of this could have been prevented with a phone call that I was promised. But cowardice rules the day there. All right. You know what? It's 7:15. I better get something to eat. I should play one more thing though. What is this? Oh, this is from my piano student, stuff he wanted to learn. John Legend. I'm okay. I like it. He's okay, but like take it or leave it. Let's see. Key of. So this is either A flat, major, or F minor. Judging by the F at the start, I'm going to guess F minor. So. There's not like really, you have to sing. Otherwise, it's just doing that over and over. Okay. Well, I'm not going to play that. Okay. What I will do is I'll play Un Suspiro. I'll just run through it. I'm about 90% done. I have it memorized along with Vidmung, but lots of refining to go, and that's another thing I'll be working on in Vietnam and hopefully preparing for a concert stateside. And I'll, of course, release details of that. But okay. All right, I'm beat. Now I have to eat something. Have I eaten? Yeah, I did, but it wasn't very good. It was like I ate some. This is gonna sound very weird, but it's like cake that came out of a big old flower pot. I think it's some. I don't know. That's all I ate. So I should probably have something with a lower glycemic index, I think. And then final run through of this last minute things. I need to get an eSIM. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Okay. Well, if you watch this, thank you. I'm going to end this now. I think. If my app is still working. It looks like it is. Okay, here we go. Stop recording. Now stop streaming.